Happy Fantasy Friday. This is the Banter and Bookmarks podcast. We are Lindsay,
Kelly.
And Catherine, and we are three book besties diving into romantasy with unhinged theories and a bit of spice.
This is episode 7 of a 10-episode series covering Fury Bound by Sable Sorensen. Today we're covering chapters 38 through 43, and there will be spoilers. We will be finding clues, making connections, and theorizing.
So pour yourself a drink, come escape reality with us, and let's talk about books.
Our drinks tonight are provided by our episode sponsor, Velvet Hammer. These electrolyte elixirs are fit for fae, but made for mortals. These mix-ins are absolutely delicious, as you can tell. Kelly is drinking it on here.
It's so good.
If you are just listening. So go try them out today. Use code Books and Banter for 15% off your order.
And tonight's episode is also sponsored by The Little Shop of Romantasy. And I am rocking one of her Fury Bound designs tonight, which will be available soon on her Etsy shop. We will link the shop in the episode description.
Let's start off by summarizing today's set of chapters, which is chapters 38 through 43.
Chapter 38, Marin. Lucian accepts Noemi's apology, but Marin still has too much on her mind to sleep. Marin sees Sayla and Venna communicating to each other in sign language, and Venna tells Marin that she needs to gain some perspective on Sayla's new life. The ladies meet Lucian at the library, who has been trying to research Marin's odd thrall bracelet. But their conversation is interrupted by the Sovereign Alpha's pain invading Marin's mind. She is locked in battle with Phylax, and she is killed. Marin comes and tells them that Nocturne has fallen.
Chapter 39, Stark. Stark and Noemi go for a walk around the grounds, and Stark checks in on his oldest friend. While they are walking, pain shoots through Stark, and he feels a newfound well of power. He knows that Sigrid is dead, and that now he is the Sovereign Alpha.
Chapter 40, Marin. Marin explains to Lucian what happened, and then she goes and checks on Edith, who is alive and retreating. Marin tells Lucian that she no longer has a country to offer him, and he tells her that he will keep the alliance if she marries him. He explains that he wants a political alliance, one that will keep the goddess tears distributed evenly among their two nations. Marin says that she will take his offer into consideration and then takes off to find Stark to tell him about Sigrid. They find one another, and he doesn't seem to be grieving. They'd need to decide what to do next, so Marin checks her foresight. The only positive outcome she sees involves a tower. The vision ends, and Marin tells Stark about Lucian's offer.
Chapter 41, Marin. Stark asks Marin if she will accept Lucian's offer, and she worries that he is going to reject her again, but he does not. She tells him about her foresight vision and tells Stark that he should not join her in bed tonight, that she needs to talk to Killian. Killian is waiting for her in the Shadow Realm, and Marin tries to convince him that she's still in love with him. Killian shows her his goddess tier, and he tells Marin to stay put and try to glean information from Lucian, and that he will let her know when it is time to join him. She wakes up and immediately fills Stark in.
Chapter 42, Marin. Marin and Stark wake the others in their party and fill them in. Sayla remembers something. She pulls out their mother's journal. She shows them a drawing of a star made up of 7 tiers. They know they will need help from Lucian, so they bring them the information. He shows them a large map and tells them that the tower is somewhat of a legend. Over the years, sailors have tried to chart it, but it is surrounded by an impenetrable mist. They find sketches of it, and Marin notices there are symbols etched into the tower, the 4 pack symbols. Sayla guesses that it will take one member of each pack to reach the island. They know they have the upper hand on Killian with this information, so they decide to leave right away.
Chapter 43, Marin. Sayla and Marin talk, and she asks Marin if she can stay behind in Astriona and learn about being a siphon. Marin says yes, and in the afternoon, they all meet up to depart. Marin pulls Friedrich aside and makes him vow to be a perfect father to Sayla. In return, he asks for her to make sure Ruby stays safe. They all mount up and depart for Bloomfang. They arrive 2 days later and board the ship. They finally arrive at the island and see the tower looming behind the fog. But suddenly, cold air rushes around them and Lucian screams, "Brace!" I think he actually says, "Oh shit, brace," but
Yeah.
you know.
I don't think he said it that way.
Oh shit, brace!
Does
that better?
I picture him with like a really
Better.
growly, like British accent. I don't know why.
Bryce!
Bryce.
Bryce, like pirate.
Bryce!
A little piratey.
Spike from Buffy.
Bryce,
bitch.
Bryce, bitch. Catherine and I's favorite Buffy reference.
Yep,
Out on
yep.
a walk, bitch.
In 5 words, I love Spike. What are you doing here?
Out on a walk, bitch. Okay, anyways, let's go
Going
back
back.
to our deep dive.
Our other vampire, who we all love.
Mhm.
He has longer hair than Spike, though.
Mhm.
So Lucian has just had to deal with the chaos of Noemi trying to stab him. He's not really upset by it. He's really just more put out. The inconvenience of the whole situation is just beneath him. But he does accept her apology. And Stark and Meryn are then in bed together, but she can't sleep because she's got a lot on her mind. She's thinking about the goddess tears, why she and Lucian ended up with matching jewels in their crown, which we have alluded to multiple times. And also, side note, how did Lumina's goddess tears ever get handed down to the two brothers, who she was supposedly romantically involved with?
Yeah.
How did that exchange happen?
Did they get handed down or were they stolen?
Right. How are they in possession? Because
Yeah.
I have a lot
Because
of questions about that.
Now that you actually say that out loud, I am inclined to think that they were stolen because Meryn has the vision of them in the tower, right? But then
Mhm.
they aren't there, just like holes of where they used to be. So part of me thinks that they were stolen from the tower.
Yeah. And that the fact that they're not together right now and they're split up, like all of that leads to, I think, what you're saying, which is there is some thievery afoot.
Or I'll just throw it out there
Or-
as, so you know how in Nocturne at the very, very last chapter, Stark's POV chapter, Nocturne wants the tears put back together. I also have to wonder if maybe Lumina kept them separate and spread all over their territories to somehow
Oh, like on
impede
purpose?
him. Yeah.
That would make sense too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind
We
of
will
goes back
find
to
out.
that. Yeah, it goes back to that conversation I think we were having in the last episode about like who is really going to end up being good and who is going to end up being bad, or is everybody good or is everybody bad? Like, are the gods, a lot of times in romantasy books, gods are very
Bad.
neutral and vindictive.
Mhm.
So do we have that situation? I don't know.
TBD. TBD.
Well, Meryn tells Stark that she thinks she needs Sayla's tear to defeat Killian, and then because of that, they agreed they need Lucian's help.
The morning after all this happens, Meryn comes across Sayla and Venna, and they're communicating with sign language. But when Meryn approaches them, Sayla abruptly stops. She's like, "Whoop! Can't talk around my sister." And so Meryn asks Venna, what's going on? Is everything okay with Sayla? And Venna tells her straight up that Sayla is going through some things, and Sayla has been marked as different now. She's a siphon, and she feels a lot of things about that. And she's really made to feel that this new part of her and who she is unwanted. And I think it's really sweet that Sayla is going to Venna, who is also a sister and who has some differences. The fact that Venna uses sign language, and I think she just sees her as someone who she can maybe relate to in the fact that they are different, and that maybe they live in their sister's shadows in a lot of ways. And so I think realizing this makes Meryn really feel like a fucking asshole. She realizes that she was for not accepting that this really is Sayla's new normal and her new life. Whether they find a cure eventually or not, this is really happening, and her sister needs her right now.
Yeah. I think it's also massive foreshadowing to how Marin, once Venna is turned, will hopefully have learned from her mistakes and not
Yeah.
ostracize Venna in the same way.
Yep.
I don't think she will. I think that she's
Mm-mm.
learning from Selah and is learning
Yeah.
from this moment.
And I
Yeah.
don't think she intentionally is ostracizing Selah either. I think she doesn't
No, yeah.
recognize that her actions are making her feel unwanted because
Right.
since so much of the siphon anything knowledge is limited, she's afraid of what it means for Selah. So for her, she immediately goes into protective, fix the problem mode.
Right.
And she doesn't realize how alienating that can be for
Yeah.
a 12-year-old in the
Mhm.
process.
Yeah. Like, gotta cure it. Gotta cure it. And Selah's like, well,
Mhm.
if you can't cure it, like, is there
Am I
something wrong with me
bad?
then? Or right, are you not going to love me anymore? Like that's a hard thing for her to go through for sure.
Yeah. Well, Marin and Venna continue to talk, and Venna also congratulates Marin on Stark. Nice one. Literally.
Approved.
She
Nice.
says, nice one. I think she laughs like that too. That's not in the text. That's in my mind. They decide to go ask Lucian for help with the sire bond. And they find him in the library, or as Marin calls it, a damn temple for books.
That's where you would have found Lindsay.
So
library.
Marin for her to say that. It was a damn temple for books. So he is researching thrall bracelets and guesses that hers acts differently, either because of her wolf bond or because it was designed in a new way. A little bit of both, right? Maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Marin tells him, time to let the beans spill, that Killian, awkward, is Selah's sire. And of course, he kind of freaks out for a moment, right? They tell him about the necklace that protects Selah from the bond, and he murmurs, interesting, to himself. Marin asks him what he knows about the tears, and he reaches into his tunic and pulls out another tear pendant, just like the one Selah wears. So we have another tear has entered the chat here. Is that
We've gotten
5
to
now?
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
He hands it to Marin, and the moment she touches it, she is intoxicated with the power that it holds.
I've got the power.
Beep, 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 beep.
Which I can't
got
hear
the
that
power.
without thinking of
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Yep. Boom. Pleasurable.
I'm glad that that's where both of our minds went, is to Jim Carrey.
We have a quote. So your crowns help you control your respective powers. The necklaces give you protection, and both of the tiers make your magic stronger, Sailor recites. I wonder how strong a person would be if they had all the tiers on them at once. I'm hoping that means put them all on and destroy maybe an evil god in the process,
Mm-hmm.
maybe.
Just wear lots of jewelry
Yeah, it's for
They dress
fashion
up.
and for function.
for fashion and for function.
And Marin remembers that the mother priestess has another one, but she decides not to tell Lucian about that yet. And I definitely agreed with her in keeping that a secret at this time because he's still squirrely. You can't figure him out yet. And honestly, it's really just he doesn't care enough, I think. And then Lucian tells Marin that they have developed jewelry to block sire bonds, so there is another way for Selah. So you can keep your necklace, Marin.
Yeah, good. You can keep this. Well, out of nowhere, something comes screaming through Marin's mental bond, and it is Sigrid. She's in a ton of pain. A lance pierces through her side. She is locked in a battle with the Phylax Alpha Tormund. And she knows that if the defensive lines fall, they will lose the entire kingdom, which is just wild to me to think about the magic in this moment of being able to see that and feel that and not be able to do a single fucking thing about it. Like, just the weight of that is just putting myself in Marin's position. I'm like, wow, that's a lot to handle. And Marin notes an oddly dulled gaze in the Phylax Alpha. Interesting. Does this mean the Mother Priestess has given Killian the tear ring and he's now using it to control people? That gaze, I mean,
Yeah.
he's not thinking for himself. That's how I'm reading it.
This is the first time, yes, I think the priestess has been with Killian, so it kind of would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know we've talked about, like, was the Alpha Tormund going to defect and going to do all this stuff all along? I think I'm still on the path of, like, I don't know that he would have necessarily done it without being convinced, but I think he might have been leaning that way or wanted to, and maybe the control pushed him. Like, it was easy to control him because he was maybe questioning it. I don't know. Do you think he was planning this the whole
But the
time? I don't think
priestess,
so.
he didn't have the ring when
He
they
defected?
because the priestess was still with them. Like
Yeah.
they were still in Nocturna when that happened, and the priestess
Yeah.
wasn't with Killian. So that was all him. I mean, granted, Killian is a persuasive person, period. So to your point, Kelly, I think he was probably already leaning that way.
Right. It's one thing to defect and be like, yeah, no, I don't want anything to do with this.
Yeah.
It's another thing to, like, fully betray the whole kingdom. Yeah.
I think he was
I will be
leaning that
interested.
way. I'm kind of with you on that one.
Yeah, for sure. Sigrid pulls the lance out of her side, and Genikos heals her. And Alpha, Phylax, Tormund, and Jonah, frickin' Jonah, are both there. Right? Fuck, I hate that guy. And they're fighting. And Jonah pierces through her side with a sword. She knows it's a lethal blow. And in her last moments, she thinks about Stark and how much she regrets her relationship with him. We get a quote. In her final moments, she wonders if she taught Stark enough about everything that comes next for him, if he's prepared to become the sovereign Alpha, and for who comes along with that. Foreshadowing alert, everybody. Who comes with this role? It's Nocturne himself, and we are getting a little bit of a teaser here from Sigrid in her final moments.
And honestly, her saying, though, have I prepared him enough? No.
Literally none.
No.
You did no preparing. You never
Not
told
even
him
a
that a
little bit.
random shadow god visits you in your dreams.
No.
Literally none.
He was raised to be strong, and he's an alpha, and he has all these things going. So, like, in that way, maybe. But, like, no, he is about to be blindsided.
Yeah.
I will say, I do think in this moment, reading it back a second and third time, and we've had this conversation before, but I wonder how much of what she has done as Alpha was because she was just like a cold-hearted bitch and this was who she was, and how much of it was her being manipulated or controlled in a way by Nocturne.
Yeah.
And reading these moments as a mother, I don't want to say that I feel for her because I'm still not a fan of Sigrid, but I think this gives her a little bit more humanity in my eyes, because I'm questioning what could she control at all and what was truly Nocturne and his influence, you know?
Yeah.
I will reserve judgment in the third book, because I think we'll feel that
we'll
more.
See.
And then I can decide if I judge her really hard or if
Real
I'm
hard.
feeling more forgiving.
There you go. Well, after she has this whole vision of what's happening, Meryn comes to and manages to force out the words, quote, Nocturne has fallen. And I will say, when I read those words in my first read, I think I audibly gasped. I was like, what do you mean? Sables?
It also seemed a little dramatic to me. Just because the sovereign Alpha has fallen, you are still the queen.
Yeah.
There's still a country. There's still a people. I didn't gasp. I was like, girl, stop the
What do you
drama.
mean?
You're the
Go
queen of
home.
a country. Shut up
Go
and
home and
rule it.
reclaim
Like,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. I was
Don't
like,
be
oh
so
my God,
dramatic.
it's
I was-
fallen?
No.
I honestly was thinking in my head, I was like, well, maybe you shouldn't have gone to this nice little other country. Maybe you should have stayed home and fought your battles.
Maybe you should have.
Which Sigrid was the one that pushed her to go.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's your fault you died, you dumb bitch.
So Val Stark and Noemi.
Oh. That was so delayed. I saw Kelly
delayed.
It was so
looking
delayed.
all like she was plotting.
I was like, why is it not playing? Why is it not playing?
Riverside has added sound effect features.
And we were like, oh, we're going to just wait and not tell Catherine about the sound effect features and just lay one on her during the thing. And I was like, go. And it wasn't going.
And Lindsay's like, what is she doing? Why is she
I was
making
like-
that face?
I'm like trying to reach the 3. Anyway. Oh, stupid.
All right. Val Stark and Noemi go for a walk, and she is uncharacteristically quiet at first. Quote, my biggest regret is how I couldn't protect her from what happened during her trials. I was already serving at the front, already alpha for that matter. So during our interview with the authors, we talked a lot about how 2 huge themes for this book are misogyny and overcoming trauma. So both very evident, especially here with this quote. Stark had asked one of his gammas to keep an eye on her during the trials, but, quote, maybe it was too culturally ingrained in him, the way the king chose a companion. Maybe he looked at that frightened 18-year-old girl and somehow saw a woman eager to please her regent.
Disgusting.
Gross.
Like
But Noemi
vomit.
tells Stark that she thought she was okay, but when she saw Lucian with a human woman, something in her just snapped, right?
Mhm.
Got it.
And Stark's response to her is that he tells her that surviving is its own strength. You're here, and that's enough.
I love that.
I know in the first episode, Catherine, too, you pointed out the quote in the very beginning of the book, too,
Yeah.
which is very similar to that, right?
It is that. It's, if not exactly
Is it the
that
same?
quote.
Yeah.
I think it's more
not the
fleshed out
acknowledgement,
at
it's
at the front of it, but that's essentially
Yeah.
the
It
quote.
says, for everyone whose strength is in survival, it's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Surviving is its own strength. You're here. That's
Mhm.
enough.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I do think that in our interview and in what we've talked about so far in our episodes, we've talked a lot about these themes. I'm really grateful for that quote and that concept, because I think there is something really healing for readers who have experienced any level of abuse or just like uneven power dynamics in their life, particularly women, but I think it goes for anyone who has experienced this, to hear someone as powerful as a character that Stark is say, it is enough to just be here and have survived it. You don't need to be anything else. You don't need to have done X, Y, and Z things to make a show of it or done anything for anybody. Like, you literally just surviving is the goal and is enough. And I just thought that was really beautiful. And I hope it resonates with people, because it like made me tear up a bit when I read it. I was like, yeah. That's right. Thank you, Daddy Stark. Tears.
Daddy Stark.
Stark.
Shut up. Pick a new song. Pick a new song. I've got the power. I'm gonna override you. I'm gonna
That's
sing
also
the
a terrible song.
instead. Better than the other one.
There's no better song than Daddy Val Stark.
Daddy
Thank you
Stark.
very much.
When you sing
Val
it with
Stark.
the doot-de-doo, it gets
Daddy Val
What
Stark.
if it's like a sexy doot to do? Is there a sexy
do,
doot?
do, do.
Anyway.
Do. Let's go from talking about the beauty of that sentence to do. That's perfect. Perfect.
Moving along, they sit on a bench together, and all of a sudden, a shooting, searing pain shatters his vision. Quote, I'm fully surrounded by shadows. Some kind of magic? Question. This is the moment of Sigurd's death. Quote, I'm tapping into my power, pulling on that energy that lives inside me, but it's strange, unfamiliar, The well of power is deeper, so much deeper than ever before. It's strong and heady, tempting me to draw it in, fill myself with it, and damn the consequences. It's almost like being on the battlefield with Mirren when she was channeling her overwhelming powers through me, and yet totally different too, because while that power felt like Mirren's in my head, it was completely and undeniably hers. This power is mine. And we
Mhm.
know this is the deal Stark's family made with Nocturne. And now Stark, as the sovereign alpha, will have that same power, Sigrid's shadow power. And Stark will now be exposed to this new dream shadow realm where he will find Nocturne. And I think something I did not appreciate, and I kind of want to point it out because it changed my opinion on rereads, is we have this POV chapter, and then it's several chapters. We have a tiny Stark POV chapter where he basically reacts to what Marin's supposed death when they're on the temple. That's all we get. And then it's not his POV until the very, very end. So when I first read it, I was like,
Mm.
why is he like, I feel like I should have seen more of his struggles. Why was I not getting that? And I realized because we're not
Interesting.
in his POV so much. So it's more interesting
point,
in a
yeah.
reread to see what Marin picks up from him, because we can only guess at the hints of what he's struggling with through her
Right.
perceiving him being like quiet, moody,
And we all know
grumpy.
she's super
Right.
unreliable.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
She's great at picking up on other people's emotions.
Oh, totally.
But
Because she's so in touch with her own emotions, so clearly.
Uh-huh. But it's such an interesting thing to keep in mind, is the fact that we're not exposed to Stark's head for so much of the end of this book. So that's why it
Yeah.
becomes such a surprise at the very, very end, I think.
That's a
Yeah.
really good point.
I
Yeah.
also, along those lines, I like it that they're not together when it happens. Like, they don't experience watching the other one experience. I really like it that they're separated during the scene and that they get to experience it on their own, like in their own certain way, and then come together and talk about it.
I liked that
Yes.
coming together too, because they both intentionally immediately wanted to seek the other one out.
Yes. They didn't keep it from, they were like immediately, oh, wait, you know this? This happened to me. It was good. They're on the same page.
He then hears voices all around him, but one voice is clear and it says the sovereign alpha is dead. And he understands in that moment that he is the sovereign alpha now. And all the voices he's hearing are all of the packs, because that's what the sovereign alpha can do. They can communicate with the packs. And he feels the flow of power connecting him to everybody that's still remaining in the packs. And he takes a moment, a very brief moment, to take in Sigrid's death. He processes this very, very, very well. He doesn't need therapy at all. Knowing this day would come, and he just wonders what Mirren felt about it. He immediately thinks of, she must, as the queen, have felt this even stronger than I did. And I'm kind of like, she didn't feel a lot for your mom dying. That would be all you, and you're really not processing that at all.
No. He immediately went into strategy mode. Interesting. Well, when Sigrid dies, Meryn can actually feel Anasa and the rest of the wolves mourning. And Meryn tells Lucien, quote, Killian has broken through our defenses. He overtook our camp. My sovereign alpha, the leader of our military, is dead. He has control of the front on our side. So this is why she is saying, hey, not, it's fallen, because she's seeing all this. But to your point, calm down. It just happened. Assess some things first. And Meryn checks in with Strategos Alpha Aegith. I'm actually very glad that she did this right away. She was immediately like, okay, wait, how's my alpha? What's going on? Good girl, smart. She didn't panic. And Aegith is alive, but very distressed and is in retreat. So Meryn turns to Lucien and says, quote, "It appears I no longer have a country to offer you in our alliance, Lucien. My remaining troops are in retreat. But if you would like to work together, I need your help more than ever. But Astriona will have to be the driving force." Well, Lucien, sneaky little bug, starts pacing, and he is wondering why his brother made this move. And Meryn tells him it was likely Killian, not Alistair.
Don't you hate it when your possessed pet just starts disobeying your commands?
God,
How
right.
rude.
Come on. Rude.
You're possessed.
Rude.
pet.
As Lucien is pacing, Meryn looks Lucien square in the face and asks him, "Lucien, are you on our side or are you not?" And he responds, "We can keep our alliance if you marry me."
Fuck off is
What?
her response.
Nope. What?
Fuck off.
Where my response would be like, okay.
My response is, Lucien, you don't even want to marry her. She would really bore you, honestly.
Yeah,
You need
literally. Yep.
Yeah, her
And I would
response
say, okay.
is, fuck off. But he continues, quote, "Perhaps I should elaborate, make my case. Yes, maybe you should do that instead of just
Smart.
spitting out marry
Proposing.
me." Right.
Like,
He says, stepping away from another slithering shadow. "I have something you need, my army. You have something I want, your tears. You misunderstand. I want assurance that the 4 tiers will be kept evenly between our 2 countries. If we are united in marriage, you cannot conspire to take mine from me, nor would I be able to take yours." So it is truly a political alliance. He truly just wants peace. I mean, think about it. He has been fighting with his brother
yeah.
for how many years at this point? He's like, I just want to live in peace.
Which is interesting. He's not even talking about, I keep my country, you keep yours. He doesn't even bring that up. It's like he does not care. He's like, I just want those things to stay on your side, and these 2 will stay on my side. Even Stevens.
I believe him.
No power imbalance.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. I fully believe that he is telling the truth. I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
Mhm.
Sound good? Can I get back to my orgy now?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And Meryn, very politically correct, tells him that she will take it into consideration and then leaves to find Stark. Obviously, she also wants to talk to him about Sigrid in this moment, but bye. I gotta go talk to my boyfriend.
My maybe boyfriend, maybe soulmate, maybe we haven't figured out
my
what their
situation
term.
shipper.
We don't know
power
my
sharer.
term of what we are or why we
My
are,
guy.
but we are.
My guy.
My
I gotta
guy.
go talk to my guy. I got a guy.
He's her lobster.
He's her lobster.
Mhm. Her
Obscure
power
friends
sharing
reference.
lobster.
When they find each other, he asks Meryn if she is well, as this is such a disturbance. And Meryn wonders who the fuck calls their mother's death a disturbance. Oh, I felt a disturbance in the force. Dude, your mom died. That's not normal.
Bro, you okay? Right.
She asks him how he is, and his response is, quote, "Don't worry about it, princess. We're bonded. A violent death is our inevitable end." Like, can we say deflecting much in that?
Yeah, right.
And Meryn tells him that he is the sovereign alpha and asks him if he knows how to use his powers. And his gaze darkens and he says, "I'll master them swiftly enough." Then Meryn says, quote, "He stares past me as if fascinated by the rooftop outside. That's strange enough right there for me to know he's not as stoic about this as he's pretending to be. It's definitely bothering him. But honestly, I can't tell what's going on in that exchange. It's really weird. Like, do we think Nocturne is talking to him? Do we think Stark basically had that same thing Meryn had when she was crowned? You know, all of the memories coming into her brain all at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a dark god in someone's mind, how do you say hello?
Oh, hey, I'm here now. FYI,
Wait,
this
didn't
is your
he
life.
say that? didn't he say that to Marin at the very beginning? What phrasing did he use? He said
don't remember.
something, and it was like,
But
you
he's
just
also
saying
been
that.
talking to Marin for a long time.
Well, no, he's only talked to her that one time, right? Because he hasn't been going back to that shadow realm because he doesn't want to deal with the fact that Killian.
But she heard the
comes in there.
voices.
Yeah, she heard his voice though.
That's
Yeah.
So
true.
he'd
That
been
was the
talking to
book
her for
one.
a while.
That's
Yeah.
right, because I always
Mhm.
forget, because I pictured the
It was him.
voices from book one being a woman's
women.
voice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiara's,
Mhm.
and I always forget that was him.
Yeah. So
That's
he's been
right.
talking to her for a while. Yeah.
I totally think that Stark at this point has already met and has talked to Nocturne, and
But when?
I think he,
Like,
I think right
literally.
away.
But how? He, like, literally was sitting on the bench, and then he ran to her. So is it like running and, hi, I'm now the god that will possess you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think in his mind, I think shit's happening. Like either it happened before this or like this is the moment where he's like, his eyes darken and he says, I'll master them swiftly enough. Like, is that the first time where he's being like controlled a bit? Like that's where
I
my
don't-
mind goes.
I don't think he's being controlled. I think that was the opposite of that. I think that was him thinking in my mind, I can fight this. Like I'll master them swiftly enough. Like
Yeah.
that
I
was
like
a
A clue that he
warning to Nocturne in
Nocturne.
his head to
Okay.
be like, oh no, I'm gonna fight this. I'll master
I
them
like that.
swiftly enough. Yeah.
I do like that.
Well, and also didn't we talk about, I think in our last episode, that we don't technically know when Nocturne speaks to
Exactly.
Sigrid or Stark. Because
Yes.
it could just be in dreams like he does with Marin. He could have been talking to Sigrid the whole time. So same thing
Yes.
with Stark. Like we don't
Right.
know if he possesses Stark in the end. Does he possess him more times? Has he possessed
Right.
Sigrid before? So we don't know how or when he's gonna communicate.
Because we
right?
don't
Yep.
get those POV chapters, and all we can do
Right.
is guess, because Marin may be saying, why is he looking off into space
Right.
weirdly right there?
And
Yeah.
and I think that's a very specific choice by the Sables to do that because it makes us guess. And I think that it's going to be an easy way to say, oh yeah, all that time that you didn't get his POV, it's all these things were
Mhm.
happening. And so that is why I think that he is communing with Nocturne a whole lot from this point on,
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
which man paints everything from now to the end of the book in a different light. Cause now I'm questioning everything about when he's there and when he's not.
But to Lindsay's point, I think of it as him resisting.
Oh,
Mhm.
totally. I don't think he's like being, I don't think that he's being swayed by him. I'm just so curious about like, what is this other conversation happening in his mind and what is he like actively doing that we don't even see when all of this stuff is happening?
Yeah. Sables, you got
Mhm.
any of those
Mm.
bonus chapters where maybe we could know about
Got
it?
any extras going on over there? Well, they all need to decide what their next move is, and so Marin uses her foresight. She sees two terrible pathways, but then she finds a new one. Quote, salt water fills my nose, my mouth. I blink and shudder. My eyes open, and the water is gone. A rocky shoreline takes its place, and a tower, dark and ominous, stretching up and up. A flash, and I'm inside the tower, walls moving in on me, crushing. A female body. Whose? Mine? Noemi's? I can't tell, but it's unmoving. Stark bent over it, shouting. Then, an empty chamber, with a shining jewel sparkling at the center of a spiraling mosaic. Okay.
Yeah, as you
That's
were
a lot.
reading that out loud, I don't think I realized how detailed that foresight moment
Yeah.
was. Like a lot of her other foresight moments have been kind of like, well, maybe this could happen, or it was like vague details. But reading that, like salt fills my nose, my mouth, because she was in the water, right? And then
Right.
she's on the shoreline, and then the walls are moving in on her, which is one of the trials. Like it's just very cool, but
Mhm.
also wrong in the sense that the jewel, well, I guess the jewel does eventually appear, but I don't know. Just, I don't think I realized how detailed it was. As you were reading it, I was like, yeah.
Oh, wait,
It does appear.
that's a good point. Hold on. So she sees a jewel sparkling at the center of the spiraling mosaic. But what you're saying is that when she first goes in, it's not there, right?
Right, because in the foresight, when she sees it just now, it's after she sees the body. So
Right.
She has
so
to
this
go through
Okay.
the trial.
right, so
Right,
it's
right.
not there, and then she falls, and then it appears.
And then it appears. Right. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
So it's like this is very detailed in
Mhm.
that description. So
It sure is. So is she getting better at it just in general, do you think? Or was it
Yeah.
that like set in stone that this is the path?
I think I read it as it was set in stone, whereas
I did too.
before a lot of things had to do with, they were battle scenes. Like, how do you see what every single person in a battle is going to do versus this is a little bit more straightforward to
Right.
me. Marin then tells him about Lucian's proposal and he stiffens beneath her.
Not like
What
that.
do you mean someone
Not
proposed?
like that.
Not like that.
Not in the good way.
He asks Marin if she will accept the offer, and he says that if he were a better sovereign alpha, he would tell her to do it. Kind of makes sense politically, right? She worries that he is about to reject her again, but he looks her in the eye and says, quote, "I damn every last soul to stay by your side, Marin."
Good job.
Okay,
Stark.
go ahead, Val
Good boy.
Stark.
Good
Uh-huh.
boy. Good boy. That was the correct answer.
You know what I love about this scene? I'm like picturing Stark like standing there holding his arms, like circling one foot in the dirt, like, so what you gonna say? You gonna say
Oh,
yes?
yeah,
So
that's-
like what?
That is
That's
literally
totally
not what I
him.
pictured.
That's what I'm picturing. I'm
Completely.
like, So
Yeah,
you're gonna
he's very
say
nervous
yes
and
this
coy.
proposal?
Yes,
Mhm,
he's
mhm.
always
Yeah,
been
yeah.
that way.
Yep, that's how I pictured it. So what are you gonna say? And she's like, no.
No.
Ah,
He's like, okay, good.
okay, great. Because it'd be fine if you wanted to say yes. Like it makes sense.
Yes, he is now like 14 again.
Exactly.
She tells him about the vision with the tower, partially tells him about it, doesn't tell him about the end of it. She then tells him that he needs to stay out of her bed tonight. Not nice. That she needs to go to the Shadow Realm to find out what Killian's next move is. Even worse. But do we think Stark followed Marin into this Shadow Realm? And was it, to y'all's point earlier, the first time he visited there? And I kind of picture him as having his own realm with Nocturne. It's not like it's a one-stop shop, like everybody who dreams goes to Nocturne's Dream Academy type of a thing. Like it's everybody has a different.
You have your own room. You've got your own assignment.
Thank you. Your own chamber.
Yeah. There's the Shadow Castle, and
Yep.
you have your own room when you go
That's
visit.
your room. That's mine.
Visiting hours.
That's mine.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if I thought about it that way.
I don't think so because Nocturne is only one god. So every time they go into this realm, I don't know, I feel like there's never a time that Marin falls asleep that someone isn't in the realm with her. So it's not like people are popping in and out waiting. It's like when you fall asleep, he's there. Does that make sense?
But he's not
Yeah, and
there. So that's
Killian
where
can
I'm
be
like,
there
did he
too.
go to
Yeah.
office hours? Did he like switch rooms?
Like, it's also odd to me that Killian never. I wish there was a line that Killian was like, "I've been coming for 3 weeks and you haven't been here," or something. Because he just so happens to go there every time Marin is there. So they're on like the same sleep schedule.
I mean,
Right.
the sun rises, the sun sets, we all go to bed. Maybe he hedged.
Yeah, but you all happen to go into the dream world at the same time? Or is it more contrived by the god, I guess is my point.
Probably.
That's a good point.
In some
I don't know.
way.
Yeah.
Or can Alistair and Killian through Alistair sense when she enters that realm because of their connection in some way? Is there something to that? Like, how would they know?
I don't think Alistair, because Alistair can't go into the realm.
True.
So I think if they could sense it, but Meryn also has never sensed it. So you would think
Right.
if that were the case, then Meryn would be like, oh, Killian's in there. I need to go talk to him. And she never does. So that's why I feel like there's something that's controlling it somehow.
Yeah. Allowing it to happen, pushing it to happen. Yeah.
I'm not sure any of those thoughts that I just said formed a coherent thought or theory, but I said them anyways.
Mm-hmm.
My words were stated. Thank you.
10 toes down in I don't know what.
And I don't know.
Stark reluctantly agrees, and that night Meryn steps into the Shadow Realm. Kitten.
Killian is waiting for her, and she lies to him and tells him that she's been trying so hard to reach him, but mean old Starky has been keeping her out. And she pleads to him, telling him how powerful he is, blah, 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 and asks him why they attacked the border. She is really playing the part. Oh, I'm so sorry, please. I love you. Killian tells Meryn that the attack was Alistair's doing, and that he wanted to punish those that were loyal to Meryn and to send a message to Lucien that he will never be defeated. Plus, he wants to keep them out of Nocturna while he searches. Killian is also wearing the Mother Priestess's signet ring, which means he has a goddess tier, and he brags that it is from the Faceless Goddess and that it has incredible powers. This is not good. Not good.
That's right. She knows that she needs to give him some sort of information. So she tells him that Lucien has a crown and a necklace. And the latter he was not aware of. He did not know that Lucien had a necklace. Side note, I almost got into another tete-a-tete on the internet.
I love that this is the era that you're in. You're in your internet era.
This is villain Lindsay. Not
Villain
much,
era.
but it's a little bit.
I'm gonna respond to you on TikTok and be like, I disagree.
I respectfully disagree, and that's my villain era. Someone was complaining about Meryn and how, despite the fact that she's painted as this like headstrong, independent woman, that she's constantly bowing to the men in her life. And the person specifically brought up her dreams with Killian. And I had to grip the edges of my chair.
Yep.
To hold back, because that's literally the whole point, is that she is acting.
She's faking
to
it.
play into his misogynistic views about roles and what her role should be in their relationship. And I was like,
next time the author should hold up a sarcasm sign for her so she really gets it.
I literally was like,
She says she's playing the part, though. Like, it's spelled out in the
straight
chapter.
Up, I'm going to
pretend.
It.
Yes.
So this whole time, if you don't realize that that's is going on in this chapter, and I don't want to dog on anybody except for that one specific person on the internet, that if you don't understand things deeper, but that's what is going on here. She's not bowing to him. She is not, trying to play into his power or anything like that. She's literally trying and using what she knows of him. They've been together for years at this point. She knows exactly who he is and what he wants from her. And she's using that to protect herself and her people and her kingdom. I will leave my soapbox now.
Well, what is the quote that she says in book 1 in like chapter 1, and it comes back in at the end, and it's something about like powerful men are afraid of women, like that.
Catherine, you have it on a t-shirt,
loves.
Right?
Yes, I think you do.
I do.
Yes.
I don't have the t-shirt on.
Yes,
but you know what I'm talking about.
I know
right?
what quote you're talking about. Catherine has it on a t-shirt. Yep.
It's literally that concept is she's using it strategically here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I like that soapbox. Thank you, Lindsay.
yeah, no problem. I will step down now and continue with my part. So we finally find out what the signet ring does. Quote, this one provokes worship, just like a god would. It's how Alistair and I turned so many to our side. Its powers go beyond siphon mind control without the usual limitations of blood magic. He thinks there are more out there. He wants to find them, so he finally has an advantage over his brother. Now, couple of things here. First of all, it absolutely makes sense that the Mother Priestess would have this one, right? She is in charge of a religious sect and has people follow her. But the line, he thinks there are more out there, is very scary to me. Why is that mentioned?
Because there are more out there.
But like more worship tiers?
No, more tiers in general, I think. I don't think it's meant.
But for me, this is very much that I read it as he thinks that there are more worship tiers out there. And that scares me.
Oh, if there are.
If there are.
Yeah. See, that makes sense. When I read this, I read it as similar to what Catherine is saying of like, there are more tiers in general. And I think this is proof to me that he doesn't fully know everything. So I don't think that he knows there are 7 tiers and this does this and this does that.
Yeah.
And so I took this as like oh, good. He's kind of clueless. Like he knows a little bit, but he doesn't know everything. And that is to Meryn and Stark's advantage because he's not all knowing. So that's how I read it.
I think you're right too, because doesn't Meryn later say that he doesn't know how many there are, and so we're ahead because at least we know how many we're trying to find.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yep.
Still, it's just like an odd, I don't know, maybe the phrasing of it was like, what do you mean?
Wait a minute, are there more? Yeah, because you never know with the Sables. They could be like, surprise, there are 9.
They're based on this one random quote that Lindsay latched onto in our last book.
They're gonna get it. We're gonna get a text voice note from
like,
Eliza
Lindsay,
being
calm
like,
down.
Lindsay, there are 7. We said there are 7. There are 7.
Well, Killian tells Meryn that he wants to find them all and use them against Lucien and Alistair, saying, quote, what's stronger than an ancient siphon? A god. Oh, hello, foreshadowing, without him even knowing it.
Okay, listeners, you might notice we just lost Catherine. Poor thing is not feeling well, and we only have a couple pages left, so she's going to go and take care of herself, and we're going to finish the episode with her spirit in these theories and get you the rest of this episode. So
we'll argue the way we think that Catherine would argue with us.
Exactly. We will. I'll argue. I'm ready, Lindsay. I'm going to fight you.
All right.
Dissenter.
So Meryn says, tell me what to do. How can I help you? Again, withering to him, like playing into his emotions. Tell me what to do. How can I help you? And his disgusting response is, you always did like it when I told you how to behave, didn't you, my good girl?
Shut the F up.
Don't fuck with my good girl trope, okay? Listen.
Right? That is not, get that out of your mouth.
And Meryn's thought is foul. These kinds of words sound so right coming out of Stark's mouth, but when I know we're in an equitable power exchange, when I'm a willing participant in the dynamic, Killian just wants me to lack any agency or choice in all parts of my life. Again, this is exactly the discussion we had in our last episode, that yes, maybe she is sexually into a certain thing, but it doesn't matter. It's about consent and equitable power exchange. Like read that quote if you don't understand it. It is perfectly laid out on page, the difference between her sexual relationship with Killian and her sexual relationship with Stark. End of discussion. The Sables leave no room for discussion there, and I love it.
Exactly. And Catherine would say, pissant son of a bitch.
Ooh, she would say that. That's a good Catherine. Way to,
Thank you.
yeah, that was good. Okay.
Honor our girl. Okay.
Killian tells her to stay put and that once he has found more tears, he will summon her. Okay. You're not going to find them first, bud.
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck
She
with that.
asks him about the bracelet, and he says that he worked closely with Alistair to develop a new one to target her powers, but not her mind because she wants her to choose him. Gross. When Marin asks him, why use a bracelet on me at all? He says that it is so that they can be equals. And Marin again contemplates how Stark feels the exact opposite way about using her power, right? Stark is so hesitant to use it. And here's Killian being like, oh no, I'm doing it for you, baby.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Shut up.
She tells him that Stark is coming, and she wakes up and tells Stark everything.
She's like, guess what this stupid son of a
Yeah.
bitch just said? You'll never believe it.
You'll
And he's
never
like,
believe it.
No, I believe it.
Yep.
So Marin tells Stark absolutely everything, fills in their group. When they tell them about the tears, Sayla remembers something and she runs off and reappears with her mom's journals and starts just furiously flipping through the pages. I love this moment. I see her like, wait a minute.
See it, yes.
Yeah. She's like, quote, in the center of the right page is something that looks like a 6-pointed star or a geometric flower, but each of the points is in the shape of a teardrop. In the center of it is another tear shape. So they deduce that they are looking for 7 tears. Remember that at this point, we know the location of 5. We have Marin's crown, Sayla's necklace, Lucian's crown, Lucian's necklace, and the signet ring that the mother priestess had. Noemi then puts together the clues of the 7 tears and the tower and realizes that it is just like that frickin' folk song that she heard when she and Stark visited her father. And they aren't sure if the faceless goddess was his wife, but they decide to follow the clues and they realize that they kind of need Lucian in this whole situation.
So Marin pushes open his door and he is having dinner. She fills him in on what they have learned and she asks if he knows of a mysterious tower near the water. He says, there is an island, but it's mostly legend. Haha, yeah, right. Hey, Elias.
Clearly, that's it.
Bring me a map. So he brings the map of the Bloodthorn Sea. Quote, it's a large map, multiple feet across, and it's incredibly detailed. Lucian's fingertip traces the line between our kingdoms briefly. He sighs. Then his hand glides over the map and settles on an area in the Bloodthorn Sea. There are islands there, I realize. 3 of them clustered together tightly off of the coast of Blumenthal. Okay. He tells them that legend has it that this is where the tower stands, but it is uncharted because the island is surrounded by an impenetrable mist. Tell me more, Vampire King. Astrionans have attempted the expedition to the island as it would make for a great position to approach it, to approach Nocturna by sea, right? So they're like, we've always tried to get on this thing, but all of the stories, every time it has ended in tragedy. So of course Marin's like, great, let's go.
Cool, I have an idea. Let's do it.
Sounds great.
Let's
Let's
just do
try
it.
it.
She's like the epitome of, but I was never there, so
But did you
clearly.
die?
But did you die? Probably. I think it sounds like they did.
A couple people died.
Elias pulls out a series of rough sketches that different people have made over time, and Marin notices there are symbols carved into the tower's peak, and the symbols are, you guessed it, the 4 pack symbols. So Sayla, because she's a little genius, suggests that maybe it takes the magic of all 4 packs to break through the fog. And Marin looks around the room and realizes that they have representatives from each of the packs in their group. They also know that they have the upper hand on Killian with his information because he was kind of bumbling and was like, oh, I wonder, I bet you there's more. So she knows we know more than him. We need to move quickly before he learns anything else. So Marin asks Lucian, hey, you got a boat we can use? But he insists, you're not just using it. Me and Elias are coming along. Good, because I want more Lucian. Marin asks what's going to happen after we find the tear, and Lucian suggests that they more formally solidify their alliance. Interesting.
Why don't we
Say
more formally solidify our alliance?
in the bedroom? They all leave to go pack, but Marin can't shake the one little detail of her vision that she did not share with Stark and the group, and it is the dead woman's body laying in the tower. Who's it gonna be, friends? She's kind of worried about it.
I'm assuming she didn't want to share it because they would all say we aren't going to go. Like it was too dangerous, right?
Yes, specifically
Stark. Yeah.
Because either way, if it's Marin or Noemi, he has
Right.
deep love for both of them. He's going to be
Yeah.
like, no, absolutely not. We're not going to sacrifice you. And she knew that.
But he also is very much a man that puts his country first, I think.
Yeah.
So would he have made that decision not to go, or would he have just imposed more? Like, I kind of feel like Marin is underestimating him in this moment, that
Maybe
he would have pushed through. He might have imposed some more security measures and things like that, or had time to figure it out. But I think Marin thinks, oh, he would put a stop to it, but I'm not sure that he would.
See, I think if there was a way for him to know that it was not Marin, I think I might be more inclined to think,
Or not
like,
Noemi, though.
that I know. I think there's nothing he wouldn't do for Marin.
Would he? Because the only other female is Venna. Would he allow Venna?
Allow is a strong word. I
Right.
see what you're saying. Like, I don't know that he would be like, oh yeah, that's fine, sure. I think he would put in. He would be like, okay, we're going to prevent this from happening. Like, we can fight it. But I think it would be a lot easier to convince him if he knew for sure it wasn't Marin, and then maybe not Noemi either. But
And I guess
don't know.
they needed to move quickly, so Marin just thinks
Was
like we don't have time for it.
Yeah. And she doesn't know who. And my other question to you is, I'm assuming, I'm taking her by what I see in the book, that she doesn't know who the woman is. Do you think that she knew it was her? I don't think that she realized it was her. Okay.
Because if she knew it in the moment, she would have stabbed herself more quickly.
Yeah.
I think we see her figure out in the moment, oh, wait, that's me. So I'm assuming in the vision, she just saw like a female form
body,
she didn't see. Because I'm assuming they all probably wear very similar clothing. They're probably all in black, right?
Yeah.
So they have different hairstyles, so she probably didn't see their heads, which is why she didn't know who it was. And it was just a woman like prone, face down, no head.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think she knew who it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I just want to make sure that I was thinking the same thing, because that's how I pictured it. All right.
No, I think that if she knew, she would have been grappling with that the whole time. But since we see her decide in that moment, oh shit, I have to sacrifice myself, I think that proves that she didn't. She
Had no
truly
clue.
didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think it would have been in her internal monologue if she was like, oh, I have to sacrifice. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Aligned.
Yep. Marin and Sayla are finally talking, and Sayla asks if she can stay behind in Astriona, and she wants to learn more about what it is to be a siphon. Marin tells her that she doesn't want to leave her, but that she understands. Again, I think this conversation is mainly coming from her conversation with Venna earlier in this episode, when Venna was like, you gotta realize what she's going through here. And so it is stuck, right? Marin sees it. So what do we think this means for Sayla, being a princess of Nocturna, but living as a siphon in Astriona? Like, do we know if siphons can communicate across distances? How will Marin communicate with Sayla. Like, that's the only thing I really
Yeah.
worry about leaving her in Astriona is like, what does this life truly mean? Or does it not matter because she's going to be protected by the palace, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. I think Selah is going to open up a whole lot of possibilities that nobody is even thinking about in this book yet,
Mhm.
in terms of not in terms of readers, but in terms of because she is so squarely part of both worlds now.
Mhm.
Like she is the heir to the throne
Yeah.
and also siphon herself. And so I imagine that there is going to be possibilities that we haven't thought, like why couldn't she potentially also bond with a direwolf? She
Mhm.
is Marin's sister, she is a Sturmfrost heir.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a possibility. And then would she be able to communicate through the bond with her sister? Are the kingdoms going to fall and collapse? Like I think you've talked a little bit about, well, actually, we haven't talked about this. It's kind of similar, I guess, to our theory about Brimstone in a little bit of ways of like we have Meryn in one kingdom, we have Lucian in the other kingdom, and then we have Stark who technically
Mm.
is on Meryn's side, but his family is serving Nocturne. And so what does that mean for could these kingdoms actually come together? Because Lucian doesn't give a shit about this stupid war,
Yeah.
right? So I think that Selah might be the key to making a lot of these systems kind of
Mm.
crumble, and paving a new world,
Yeah.
essentially.
Well, and if you think about it, they talk about how Sayla is very revered in Nocturne, like
Yes.
how the people look up to her, that she was this very sweet little girl, and now she's
Mhm.
being raised up as a princess. And so I
Right.
think that the respect that the Nocturne people have for her hopefully will translate into some like better
Mhm.
relationships between
Yeah.
the two countries, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. And,
Hmm.
I mean, the wolves let her brush them, so, like,
And tie bows in them.
yeah, what else could you need?
Clearly, you can negotiate peace between two countries if you can do that. And Sayla says in her cute little, cheeky little child way, I can literally wait forever for you, so try not to die, okay? So cute.
Adorable. Making a joke about being a siphon, that's
That's
progress.
progress.
Well, by early afternoon, the group is meeting and ready to depart. And so Marin pulls Frederick aside and tells him, quote, "You'd better be the best fucking father anyone's ever had for her. You have 11 years to make up for, and she's really going to need you right now. That's right. Lay down the law with Daddy Dearest, my friend."
Mhm.
He responds by saying, quote, "I know that you and I may never recover, but I take getting to know my other daughter seriously. I'm going to make sure the time we have counts. I promise, Marin, she'll be happy and safe here." I know I've said this before, but I get Frederick. I think he's a good guy that had
Yeah.
shitty choices, and I like that he lets Marin call him out and be a little bit of a bitch, and he because he kind of deserves it.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Heard, I want to get to know her." Like he reassures her without talking down to her, being like, "Well, that's unnecessary." He
Yeah.
rolls with it, and I respect him for his responses here.
But I'll be Catherine here because I know Catherine does not
Does
like
not like
him
him.
at
That's
all. And
true.
I'm inclined to agree with you too. I think that there's I was gonna say he's only human. He's not human anymore. But you know what
Not
I
anymore.
mean, right? Turn of
Mhm.
phrase. But I know Catherine really doesn't like him, so I'd be curious to hear what she says about this moment too of, yeah, I'm gonna step up and, gonna try to
Mhm.
do the best I can. But
Yeah,
then he kinda
true.
goes in and talks about his mate. So,
Ugh. Ugh. She would be like, "Grab assers."
right?
Um, Frederick then asks Marin to keep Ruby safe back in Nocturna, and he says, quote, "Ruby has been the most important person in my life for the past 12 years. What we have, it's not just the sire bond. The love I had for your mother was meaningful to me and it was real. I hope you believe that. And I don't mean to say that what we shared paled in any way because of what I have now. But my connection to Ruby is different. It's written onto my soul. It's a type of love I didn't know was even possible until her. Must be really hard for Marin to hear. And I also think it speaks to like divorced parents of children being able to respect what you had with the mother and also respect this next stage. So it's like,
Yeah.
I like that they put this in.
Marin's also in a point in her life where she is leaving one relationship
Yeah.
and entering into another one that is very powerful and also is written onto her soul and the type of love
True.
that she didn't realize was possible. And so I think that she probably a little bit has to take a step back and be like, okay, I can't judge you for that. I understand.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah.
Mhm.
Marin realizes how hard it is to hear him say that and that she might never forgive him, but she will do her best for Sailor. Totally fair. We get it.
Mhm.
It's okay to feel all of those feelings. Sayla tells her that her new blocker necklace that Lucian gave her is working out great. And then she gives Marin some of the Sturm Frost Queen books and their mother's journals. And she does use them later. So thanks a lot, Sayla, because you knew what I needed.
That's right. And then, of course, in one of our favorite moments, in blows Lucian, saying,
Woo-hoo.
I've arrived. You're welcome.
I love him so much.
And he is wearing a high-necked tunic of dark material, black, but with hints of colors when it catches the light, like raven's feathers, and glittery stitching, the shoulders curved upward like blades. It's
Oh,
probably
fabulous.
the least combat-ready piece of clothing I could imagine.
he's got to be sharp. He's got to
I
look good.
love it. And Marin and Sayla giggle, but Anasa warns her not to underestimate him.
I love that.
And listen, we have talked a lot about how we think Lucian is just kind of blowing around with the wind, but Anasa's not wrong here. I think that there is a little bit more street smarts to him
for sure.
than we give him credit for.
I mean, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's very, it reminds me a lot of Carrion in Brimstone when he's like, yeah, I'm going to play the fool because people see me as the fool and it makes them not look. And so I kind of think that that's what Lucian's doing a little bit here, that he's playing this, oh, I'm this fabulous character with my fabulous shirt because I don't want you to look closely at what I'm doing.
I would like that a lot if that was his character. Yeah.
But even so, Anasa refuses to allow him to ride her. So Lucian joins Venna and Elias joins Noemi. And when Elias gets on, Noemi says, try not to worry. I won't stab you.
Good. She's
Good
learned
for
her
her to be able to take some humor in that moment because I thought that was hilarious that she said that.
Oh my God. Well, it takes them 2 full days to reach Bloomfang. Bloomfang. Quote, Stark and I are both sleeping poorly, though. My anxiety over what we're doing and the race to beat Killian keeps my mind working at all hours. Stark spends his nights tossing and turning next to me. I wonder why. Who is he communing with in his sleep? Question mark. But when I press him about it, he shrugs it off. I have a lingering feeling that he's still working through Sigurd's death. Or he's talking to Nocturne. One of the two, or maybe both.
No. I think he's definitely talking to Nocturne.
Yeah, this is a massive
This
hint
is the
here.
reason that we don't go into his POV, because if we went into his POV, he would have to tell us what was happening.
100%. 100%. 10 toes down.
Yep.
Completely agree. Well, Marin has never seen the sea before, and she says that it is beautiful, and she shares her feeling with Stark down the bond, which is one of my favorite tropes, by the way. I love sharing feelings and talking through a bond. It's like, they come to a magnificent ship and board it because, of course, frickin' Lucian would have magnificent ships. And Marin decides she does not like the sea. It's magnificent, but she's like, nope. She's incredibly seasick, and Stark adorably uses his shade-bending shadows to hold her hair back. So cute. He's
Adorable.
a girl's girl. Stupid fucking sea. Fuck you, waves. Fuck you, boat.
So Marin. It's so good. It's so
All right,
Marin.
who's your guess? Is it Annie or Eliza who wrote that line?
That was Annie.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Eliza. So, well, guess we're going to have to ask them.
I think that was
But
Annie.
I love that. Stupid fucking sea. I also picture her saying it like she's kind of drunk. Stupid fucking sea. Fuck you, waves. Fuck you, boat.
Fuck you, boat.
Like kicking in the air. Fuck
Yep.
you.
All right, well, Sables, please let us know immediately
know.
who wrote Fuck You, Boat.
Wait, I can't wait to be on our cruise next year and just do that. Just
fuck
say
you,
that.
waves. Fuck
you,
boat.
waves. Fuck you, boat.
But don't fuck you, boat, and because it's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be so fun. I can't wait.
I love you, boat. Please don't hear me say that into the universe. I love you. Okay. Lucien starts to playfully jab at her, and she tells him that she will let Stark kill him. Okay.
Perfect.
To that, he chuckles and says, "Oh, you're fun." But then Stark, quote, he turns to stare at Lucien. Then a second later, I sense the edges of his thoughts, immensely violent thoughts. And slowly, still staring at Lucien, he starts to smile in a terrifying way that doesn't reach his eyes. Lucien's own smile drops, and he moves as far from us as he can while keeping a hand on the helm, eyeing Stark like he's worried he's about to pounce. Sturmfrost? Make him stop that? No. Also, is this Stark or is this Nocturne?
Good
Nocturna,
question.
Because to
Nocturne.
me, that is maybe... Although I guess she can sense the edges of his thoughts, so it must be him. I don't know. There's like a darkness there that I think is interesting.
100%.
So
I was going to say we'll never know, but I bet you
we will
know.
know.
In book 3.
Yep. Lucien calls out that they are approaching the coordinates, and they look over the rail to see the island take shape. They are carried into the fog, and they can feel its strange sort of magic. They see the tower jutting out, and the pack symbols are carved into the face. So everything's going right up until the point where suddenly cold air rushes them, and Lucien yells, "Oh shit, brace!"
And we're going to have to wait till the next episode.
That's
to
right.
go into the tower.
I think that is an excellent place to stop, is Lucien saying, "Oh shit, brace!" Because if this were a TV show, that's exactly where it would stop. We would have to wait until the next episode to learn. So you're going to have to wait till the next episode too. Boop. Even though you've already read the book, so you already know what happens. Boop.
Hopefully you've read it, because we've been spoiling shit left and right. But we warned you. Boop. Well, that is a wrap on episode 7 of our coverage of Furybound. And next week, we will be covering chapters 44 through 50. Be sure to like, follow, rate, and comment on our podcast wherever you are listening, and follow us on our social media channels so we can find more unhinged fantasy readers just like you.
We also have a Patreon channel. For only $5 a month, you can now be a book dragon. Our monthly subscription includes a monthly book club, often featuring the book author, early access to episodes, membership to our private Discord channel, merchandise discounts, and free hugs, always when you see us in person. So come join the fun today.
If you have not seen our announcement pinned to our Instagram, we are also hosting a Banter and Bookmarks fantasy cruise.
And we'll not go toward any misty shrouded towers.
No misty
Don't
towers.
Worry.
We have taken that off of the agenda. And it is happening in May of 2027. We're going to have author J.R. Cathers there with us. We're going to plan a bunch of fun bookish events, including some beach reading time, some book discussions, maybe some crafts, definitely trivia, a live show with J.R. Cathers. So
I might be currently working on a scavenger hunt.
She definitely is working on a scavenger hunt. We have merch on our website. Our merch store you can access through our website, banterandbookmarks.com, with our really adorable mermaid logo. And we have a ton of people already coming with us. So go check it out. The link is in our bio. It's the Travel Joy website, and DM us anytime. We also have a great travel agent named Greer who is helping us. So any questions, just reach out to us or her, and let's go cruising, you guys. It'll be so fun.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Happy reading. Bye.
Bye.